Hey YouTube, hey everybody, good morning. I'm checking in. This time I'm in Pompano Beach, Florida, and I'm visiting my daughter. I used to live here in Pompano for many years, Pompano, Florida, before I retired to the coast of Ecuador, Mangarello. And I'm in a neighborhood called the Pompano Highlands. Things have been changing here over the years. Let me show you what the neighborhood looks like. So, here in the Pompano Highlands, it's a very old neighborhood. These houses, a lot of them were built around the 1940s, 1950s. And I remember these houses. You could buy one of these houses here. They had bigger lots. The houses are small. Usually they're like a 2 or 3 bedroom, 1 bathroom. You could have bought one of those houses back in 1998, let's say, for about $55,000. And then up until around, I would say 2015, you could buy one of these houses for about, I would say, maybe $180,000. Now, fast forward to all the inflation of today's market in real estate in South Florida, and these houses go for like $400,000. Can you imagine that? It's true. Now they have been renovated now, a lot of them. People with money are working a lot and making money and fixing these houses up. And but still, even with all the renovations, to be asking that amount of money, it's incredible, really. Just going for a walk here, and kind of walking around the old neighborhood, because the house I owned in Pompano was right next to this neighborhood, just one neighborhood over, called Cresthaven. And the same thing happened there. All the housing prices increased dramatically. Not only that, property taxes and also homeowners insurance. That's really gotten out of control here. A lot of people, insurance companies, have been dropping people because of making claims that they don't want to pay. Rates have been tripling over the last few years. So, yeah, there's opportunity in South Florida, like always. A lot of jobs here, but you really have to pay to play. So we're in February 2026. Beautiful day here. They've been having a couple cold fronts that come through. You know, the South Florida weather can be a little unpredictable this time of year. Some days it can be 80 degrees. Other days it might be like 55 degrees or 60 degrees. I just flew in last night. It was about like 60 degrees. I felt cold coming from the hot season in Ecuador. So just taking a little walk around the neighborhood. I'm going to show you guys something from my past. Back in 2007, 2008, I had got divorced, and Back in those days, man, my credit wasn't very good. I was raising two teenage daughters on my own, and I rented a house in the Pompano Highlands. Back in those days, it was very inexpensive. That was the house I rented. And I lived with my kids there, I think for about 5 years. And rent was really cheap back then. I think I paid $550 a month. Yeah, you could never do that in today's market. I don't want to make it too obvious that I'm filming houses. People get a little suspicious. Heck. It's just the house hasn't changed much. It's a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom really, 1 bath, and one was like a part-time bedroom. So yeah, I lived there for a few years. Now, you know, if you were to rent in any of those houses, any of these houses, the rents be a lot more. I would estimate probably $1,800 to $2,000 a month to rent a house here. See, that's the reason that people move abroad. They go other places. You know, Florida can be nice. It's clean. Everybody drives a new car. And but what's really happening with a lot of people is, yeah, you're driving a nice new car. You're working on your house. You're trying your best to keep it looking good and be proud. But meanwhile, you're just living paycheck to paycheck and not saving a dime. And putting retirement savings is like putting everything on the back burner. You're just trying to make it through the week. And all your taxes, property insurance are going up. House is always needing upkeep. You know, and here's the other thing. I got some friends that I'm going to be hooking up with while I'm here. And 2 of them live down here now. 2 other friends I grew up with when I was growing up in suburbs in New York. And they've got this whole 3-day extravaganza planned. And what are we doing? One of them has a friend that wants to take us on the intercoastal waterway to go boating. Another night is going to be eating at a steakhouse. Another night is going to the Hard Rock Cafe in Hollywood, Florida. And all these things are going to be fun. But man, you try to join in on these activities, freaking expensive. You know, you're looking at spending hundreds of dollars. Like I said, you have to pay to play. There's a kitty cat. I got a cat just like this. Black cat. Oh, he took off. So, that's another thing in Ecuador. You know, expats and locals, you know, we're not all caught up in that. It's really when you move abroad to somewhere like Ecuador, especially in a small town, that's the lifestyle that you're trying to look for, is just connecting with nature. You know, all the bars and restaurants, they're little tiki bars. Everything is pretty much outside. There's a sense of community. There's people walking around the town and everything's outdoors. People are saying good morning to you, and life is happening everywhere. There, you know, you can rent a beach. Parking is free. There's no parking meters there. When you want to go hang out at the beach for half a day. You know, they have umbrellas and chairs, like big tent umbrellas. You can rent for $10 for the whole day. You want to have a cocktail? Great. Each cocktail, you want a pina colada? Okay, $5. Spend the whole day at the beach. You want to eat a lunch? You can eat probably a lunch. You can get the lunch special for like $3, or you could spend a little more and get like an awesome lunch for $10. You know, anything you want. So, you know, that's the difference. That's the difference. You can go out, have a couple drinks, spend the day at the beach, go eat dinner, go have a couple cocktails near the beach, watch a sunset, stop at a coffee house on the way home for, like I do sometimes, you know, for a dessert, piece of cake, a coffee. Maybe the whole day, let's say the whole weekend, probably spend $70, $80. So if you try to do these activities here in Florida, well, you're using parking garages, there's tons of traffic, parking meters, expensive restaurants, expensive drinks. You know, every time you go out, especially if you're treating your wife or girlfriend and maybe one other person, you're really sweating it because you're spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And then Monday, it's back to work, paying for it all. Yeah, I know I'm kind of going on a rant, but I just wanted to show what my experience has been for me, and what it's like. Here's a park I used to go to. I'm walking around it now. I don't even know the name of it. We call it the Triangle Park because it's shaped like a triangle. So today is about 10 o'clock in the morning. It's about 72 degrees. Beautiful day here in South Florida. I mean, it is good to be back to visit. That's what I do now. You know, I strike a balance. Because, yeah, living abroad, you can start to feel a little bit isolated at times, a little disconnected. Certain moments, you know, because family's someplace else. But luckily for me, Ecuador is only a 4-hour plane flight to get back home. The other thing living abroad is like here, my airport, Fort Lauderdale Airport, my daughter picked me up. It took like 20 minutes to blast back to her house, right, in Ecuador, from my house. And many towns that people live in, we all have to go to Guayaquil. That's the international airport. And it's like a 3-hour bus ride. So, you know, those are certain things that you have to deal with when you're living abroad, is you might not be at an airport, especially if you want to live in a more rural community. Like a lot of them are. You know, I didn't want to live in a big city in Ecuador. And for me, I like the coast because that's what I'm used to. I'm used to the tropics. I'm used to the coast. I like year-round warm weather. It's not for everybody. I don't expect it to be. You know, I need to get out and see more of Ecuador, the mountains, and some of these other places. The Sierra Nevada, other areas. You know, that'll be on my bucket list. Well, it's Monday. It's very quiet because everybody's working. That's why. Anyway, that's my rant for now. I don't want the video to go on for too long. And I just wanted to share my perspective on being a retiree and living abroad, living somewhere else. Luckily, I've made a good balance because I can get back to Florida. It's only a 4-hour direct flight trip. It's easy to do, not expensive, and when you come back to somewhere like Florida, the pay-to-play state, or probably a lot of other places in the U.S. is the same way. It all balances out because I save money all year by living in Ecuador, and I can splurge a little bit, order things on Amazon, stuff my suitcase with crap, go on these expensive outings with some of my friends that still live here. And but in Ecuador, man, I really enjoying a peaceful life there. So I'll end the video there. I just wanted to share some random thoughts with you guys like I always do. Okay, take care everyone. Ciao.